Hello wonderful people, I'm PvPSkillz and I have really good news for you. The Dark Sword is getting a nerf. Yes, at last the fucking Dark Sword is getting nerfed. The patch is coming on the 1st of July, which is 2 days from now. I believe today's 30th of June, and I think there's still 31st of June. It might be tomorrow. I'm not sure, I did not check the calendar. However, let's look at the changes. So the first change is all dagger weapons increased critical attack power. So daggers, usually they are, the critical attack of the Dark Souls series. They usually inflict heavy damage, but in this game they're kinda underwhelming. Yes, the normal dagger when optimized can do some damage, but not enough. So I'm really interested what's gonna happen with that. Number 2, Dark Sword, reduced weapon efficiency. Man, at last. I thought the Dark Sword will be like the Evelyn from Bloodborne. I thought they will never patch it. Thankfully, I'm wrong, because they had so many chances to patch it before and they did not. So I thought these guys, I don't know, they just like the Dark Sword. And I never use this thing, so now at least I have an excuse to use it, because I don't know, I felt if I use it, it will be boring. Like, all straight swords for me are boring. So let's continue with the patch notes. You got Angry Straight Sword, reduced scaling effects. Never tried it, but from what I know, it's one of the best weapons in the game on a hollow quality build. So that's too bad, because I never, I never saw somebody with the Angry Straight Sword and I said, oh man, this guy is using an OP weapon. So I don't know, I felt this unnecessary. Maybe I'm wrong, because I never tried it. The next thing is Wolner's Holy Sword. So if you notice until now, everything is weapon changes, and this will be most of the patch is weapon changes and spell changes, which makes it the most important patch up till now, to be honest. So yeah, let's continue. Wolner's Holy Sword, whatever that shit is called, added phase scaling and adjusted weapon efficiency accordingly. That was much needed. This weapon is crap. Even though they buffed the battle arc recently on it, now it has hyper armor. It's just crap, man. I don't know how they even released it in the beginning, man. I don't think they do testing, these guys. So this is a good call. Crescent Moon Sword added intelligence scaling and adjusted weapon efficiency accordingly. From what I remember, the Crescent Moon Sword doesn't have any scaling and intelligence. So they added actually a new thing in a weapon. I never actually think they ever did this to a weapon, like they added new scaling. So this is interesting. I actually like the weapon. So guys, let's continue with the more important notes in the patch. So the next important thing is the Scholar's Candlestick. Reduce sorcery strengthening properties. Too bad, I don't know why. Like, I never thought of sorcery being overpowered or something like that. And it was annoying to use this, and now they made it even more annoying, because now it's worse for some reason. Hopefully they can buff something later on, like a hidden buff in the billowing Dragon Crest ring, but I see no reason for this, to be honest, but it's their game. So yeah, Scholar Candlestick, nerf. Demon's Fist, reduced weight. This is important. Demon Fist weighs unnecessarily very high. Like, it weighs like freaking 11, like an ultra great sword. It weighs more than the Astora Great Sword, which is an ultra great sword. So it makes sense there, and it's not powerful by any means, so good call by them. Now another interesting one, Great Sword of Judgment, increased attack power. Now, Great Sword of Judgment, it was very interesting for me, because one of my first videos was the Moonlight Great Sword, and this was a very good candidate for intelligence builds, but it was very underwhelming. Very underwhelming. It's a crap weapon. It's one of the meaningless weapons in the game, so I'm actually hyped to use this after the patch. Hazel's Pick, increased intelligence scaling, of course, makes sense. It was crap. All shield piercing weapons added shield piercing properties to regular attacks. Now this is very important. You have the Dark Drift, you have many rapiers that go through shields. Now they actually go through shields without the battle art. So this is a big game changer, and there's also a lot of curved swords that do that. So I'm really actually anticipating this, because shields are good in this game. So all skills that enchant a weapon with a special properties extend length of effect. I know the way they put it is, it doesn't, it's difficult when you read it out, but yeah, what it means is basically all the buffs, like the self buffs, like for example on the Great Sword of Judgment, now will have more, length of time, so you can, play with it while buff much more, which is really good thing. I don't think it's bad. I thought they were, the buffs were kind of short, so like, the Lorien Ultra Great Sword, so that's kind of cool. The next important thing, we got a nerf for the Obscuring Ring, so now you get invisible further away. So I don't know, I never thought it was overpowered in any way, but hey, I hope securing ring is one of the powerful rings, or maybe. Now this one is a game changer. Hornet rank, adjusted efficiency. Now I don't know about this and I don't know how they're gonna be changing it. Of course, they're not gonna make it more damaging. If they made that, that would be funny, because that will completely, write it in stone that From Software don't care about the community. However, I don't think that's the case. I think they will nerf it. To what extent, that's what we have to wait and see. I will let you know, because I think it is deserved to just nerf it like 10%, nothing more. Because I think it is needed in this game, Hornet Ring. So we'll see about this. Another important thing, the lightning stake now only has one attunement slot instead of two. Very good, because the lightning stake is definitely one of the more important miracles for faith builds, and it took 2 attunement slots, and all the other important miracles are also 2 slots. So it was just too cumbersome, or whatever that word is, sorry. It's too difficult to actually have a lot of miracles attuned. So this is really good, and it's one of the more powerful spells. So basically, if you do optimum faith build, it actually can one-shot some phantoms. So it's pretty neat, and and it's good for baiting people around you. It's really good spell. I'm happy that they did a 1 attunement slot. It'll make miracle builds or faith builds much more viable. Another nice one, Divine Pillars of Light, increase attack power. I don't know how they didn't notice that when they were testing, like, hey, I have 60 faith and it does like 300 damage. Does it make sense? Like, I don't know why, I don't know, man. They are shit with balancing these dudes from Software. I'm sorry, I love their games, but when it comes to balancing, like, this spell was crap. There was no reason for it in the game. They have to like make it twice as strong, I believe. So hopefully that's the case. I'm actually interested to see that. And the last thing I think that is important is White Dragon Breath, reduce stamina consumption. Actually, that's not very important. So these are all the patch notes. I think they are major. They're gonna be bringing new games to the field, new weapons to the field, and nerf some, like the fucking Dark Sword. I don't want to see a Dark Sword again. I don't want to see it. I'm very happy they got rid of it, although to be honest, I got used to it. I didn't have any gripes against it, but it was too overused, really. I got bored playing against it. So I think now, we'll see what's the new meta and see what the new weapons, people will be playing at. So yeah, guys, that's it. I just want to update you. I didn't do a video in a long time. I'm having a video coming out hopefully on Sunday. And yes, guys, tell me what you think about the patches, and also tell me what you think about the upcoming expansion. Now, one thing I just want to mention about the expansion, the From Software, they have the tradition of doing DLCs that are not relevant to the main game. Dark Souls 1 was very relevant, and Dark Souls 2, to be honest, they're relevant, but I mean, they add content more than working with what they already have. That's my point. And now, since they're saying that Dark Souls 3 is the last game, although I'm pretty sure we will have one in the future, no matter how long, but anything that makes a lot of money will be made. So, but for the short run, it is the last Dark Souls game. So I think they have to do their DLCs really good, and something that really gives us some closure to the story, because there are there are many loopholes. And yes, we know a lot of them are, up to you have to imagine and, fill in the blanks. But some things, I think they should, give more lore about. That's my point. I want to see your point of view. Give me your point of view in the comment section. And I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace out, my friends.